It's new. It's exciting. It's new. It's exciting. It's new. The walrus knows your name. Yeah, I got it too. Yeah, the Richard Ramirez.
High five, Richard Ramirez, high five.
Let's go do something at the Cecil.
No caso cat. You enter into your own terrible tenebrae tales to horrible Halloween noises, sending shivers down your shuddering spine, spiraling your mind into complete madness.
When you have a ghost experience, like you're by yourself, you have a good chance that you can maybe even subconsciously go like, oh, that was, try to explain it away.
Like I'm just going insane, that's all.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe like, man, that was too high, I was doing all that duster. But you have a shared experience with somebody else, you really can't really explain it away that fast. So I'm gonna tell you a story about when I had a shared experience with a friend of mine, my friend Keena. I had just moved to a house over in Frogtown, right by the river, and it was like this small house, and I was like, I just went through a breakup, and I was like really lonely, and you know they come to you when you're lonely, and I was just sitting in my room working from home, like doing graphic design for like some crappy t-shirt company, and I remember like anytime I'm around that kind of energy, my setup was like, okay, I'm sitting on my bed, I got my laptop on my hamper, and I'm doing work like that, but when I start feeling the bed shake, you know, like I'm like trying to ignore it, like I feel vertigo all the time. So like I had this bobblehead phone, this Masonic bobblehead doll that is always keep it in eyesight. So like if I feel like some sort of earthquake, if that's moving, it's an earthquake. If it's not moving, then it's something else. So, or it's just something else. And so like I was feeling the bed started shaking. Whatever was in that room was starting to get more engaging. And this one day I was working, and I started feeling the bed move, and I was about to give it the whole like, my name's Colin, I live in this house, I pay rent. If you want to live here, I better not see you. Like I can't fucking handle this. Like I'm really, seriously, if you make yourself known, I'm gonna fucking get you out of here. I'm gonna burn sage. I'm gonna scare you the fuck out of here. So if you want to be here, you better be fucking mellow and leave me alone. I want to feel alone. And before I was about to start into my whole speech thing, I turned to the right. I felt the bed go like
keep going.
The bed compressed. The bed compressed next to me, like somebody was like boom, boom, boom. I watched it go down, and then it went behind me, like, and I was like, what? And like I saw in the TV was over here that was off. The TV was off, and I saw a reflection in the mirror, in the reflection in the screen. I was like, what? You know, and then I saw a little girl behind me, like wearing like a white dress, and it was like the girl from The Ring, who I incidentally know actually. But then right as I saw that, I was like, ugh, and I felt this finger down my back, and I was like, I stood up like, I gotta take a shower. I want you gone by the time I come back, okay? So I was in my room, and I saw the bed was shaking, and I saw the compression of something that went right behind me, and I was about ready to give my speech. You know, this is my room. I don't want you to hear. But before I could even start into it, I felt this finger down my back. And I stood up and I said, like, I need you out of here. I can't handle this right now. I gotta go take a shower. When I get back, I better not know that you're here. Okay, so I take a shower, and I turn the shower on. I get in there. I put my head in the water, and I felt this 5 fingers down my back. So that happened that day.
Was it like a soothing down?
No, or it was like a scratch. It was a scratch.
And I'm gonna pull you this way just because.
So then, thank you. So the next day, I haven't told anybody about this. I didn't have anybody to tell. I was very lonely at the time. My friend Keena came by to hang out, and I was like doing my work on the bed, and she was like, you know, going like, hey Colin, they're trying to make jokes and everything, and I was just like, okay, come on, Keena. Well, Keena's a great person, by the way. She's badass.
I feel like I know Keena. She kind of larger, tough girl.
Yeah. She's like a Viking.
She used to know Amy Nicole when they worked at Jumbo's Clowns.
Oh yeah.
She's hardcore.
No, she's an old friend. Yeah, she's great. She's hardcore, man. She's a fucking Viking. She's
my drunk friend got in a fight with my ex at the Halloween party a few years ago, and Keena was there, and she was about to like fucking.
She's there. She's down. She's down for her friends. If you need help, like she'll be there, and she's always there. She's a loyal, badass friend. So Keena, this is to you. I love you. But okay. So Keena comes over, and we're hanging out, and I'm depressed and doing my work on graphic design and stuff on my hamper on the bed, and she's sitting there hanging out. She's probably bored, and then something gets my attention, and right by the door, which is closed in my room, I see an orb sort of manifest, like about 10 inches away from the door.
What color was it? White?
It was just a pale orb, and I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. And I looked at it, and I watched it go along the wall, right to where like the light was coming through the window, and then it was dimmer than that light, and it became like kind of like, it was like a darker sort of like orb in comparison, because it was lighter in the dark shadow area, darker in the lighter area. And I watched it go around the corner, and I watched it go and just appear by the window. Before I could even say anything, she was like, "What the hell was that?" I'm like, "Did you see that?" She's like, "Who was that little girl?" The little girl that I had seen 2 days before, like with the fingers, you know. I don't think I told that story very well.
So did she see, when you saw the orb, was she seeing the little girl?
She saw the little girl. I saw the little girl the first time, and then I saw the orb the second time, but she saw the little girl standing behind my TV. Like, she saw the little girl, so she saw it. It was a shared experience, but yeah, I hadn't told her anything about it before either. Aaron's got some really good stories, actually, from our building. But
Aaron, you want to tell a story?
Okay.
I can tell the story about when
I don't want to like horn in on your interview right now.
I can tell the story about like when.
For the sake of whatever you guys want to do.
Okay, you want to sit over here? I'll give you the lab over here.
We have the ability to go wide.
My spooky ghost story. I don't have a lot of like paranormal experiences.
But then we got
if you have a
hear
pair
it.
of them, it's fine.
I do get sleep paralysis pretty often.
That's fun. Do you see shadow people?
Yeah, I see the shadow person. Sometimes they look a little bit different, like they vary, or I don't necessarily see them, but I can feel like the presence there.
I felt them before, but not.
They're not cool.
Pretty
No.
versed in
No,
them.
they're.
It's not to ignore them. I feel like if you ignore them, they can't suck any your fear in.
I've tried that. That doesn't really seem to do much.
There's different kinds of ghosts.
But the experiences kind of vary depending on like my life at the time. So it could just be like a total psychological thing. It could be spooky ghosts. But the experience I had at the building,
Our building that we manage.
yes,
414westpico.com.
shameless self-promotion.
Might as well. You can look at pictures of it online and just imagine this
Yes,
happening.
sort of the point it is, right?
Yeah, music. I'm by Marx. This is knife crime.
Huh. Okay.
Huzzah. Sorry. Go ahead.
So,
I'm gonna do it.
when I first started working there, I would work there by myself a lot. After our productions ended, and I was trying to figure out like what to do with the place before Colin came on. It was like being there by myself like often, and then I would end up staying the night there pretty often because there would be shoots the next day and I'd be prepping the space, but it wouldn't make sense for me to go home, so I would just crash.
Just make it easier on yourself.
Yeah. So one night, this was actually right when Colin had started working there, and one
Yes.
night Colin you either weren't working or for some reason I was there by myself, and the whole night I felt super creeped out. And I'm in that space a lot by myself, and I never ever feel creeped out ever. And just like the whole night I felt like something was watching me.
People are creeped out when I'm not there. That's a weird thing.
People are
Yeah.
creeped out when you're not there, yeah.
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 Go for it. Sorry.
Safety.
Trying to
So
shut up.
Scared of the ghost stuff.
Tell the story.
I end up just kind of disregarding it, and I go to sleep, and I feel like I'm going into a sleep paralysis. So like, I don't know if you've ever had like a sleep paralysis.
Just very slightly.
So like,
Not too spooky.
so you've had it where like you open your eyes but you can't really move.
Yeah, you still have that, whatever that chemical released in your body.
Yeah.
'Cause I
so,
sleep
Oh, it's
Wow.
called DMT.
That's DMT that keeps you there
your
still?
brain makes DMT.
Well, I know that, but it's
Well,
that's not the same thing
the
that keeps you.
dream, yeah.
That's
there's like a hormone or
It's a different
something.
chemical.
There's some kind of chemical in your brain that basically shuts your body down.
I think it's rayon.
And sleep paralysis, like the scientific explanation is like your brain, there's like a mismatch happening where like your brain is releasing this chemical that paralyzes your body for sleep so that you don't act out your dreams.
It's releasing it too
Yeah.
too much when you're
Remember
supposed to be
when I touched your
open.
computer?
Yeah. I felt like a sleep paralysis was coming on, but it felt a little different because usually sleep paralysis is a lot more, it feels different. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like more intense feeling.
But you were coming out of a dream.
No, I wasn't coming out of a dream. I was trying to fall asleep, and I was in that in-between space. And usually when I have a sleep paralysis,
That's a weird state to be. Yeah, okay, sorry. I keep
No.
interrupting.
No, we're
that's a weird
usually when I
space
have a
in
sleep
general.
A weird
paralysis,
state
it
to
like,
be in is Florida. But yeah, let's go on. We'll do that later. We're going.
um,
It is.
usually when sleep paralysis happens, it's dark and I can't see anything. If the lights are on, I almost never get it. But in this instance, the lights were on and something was in the bed with me.
Moving around.
So I
Just
couldn't
like me.
move, and I could it sort of feels like you're double exposed. Like imagine like a double exposed photograph. So like imagine the physical feeling of that.
There's like, yeah, your energy field sort of spirit in
Yeah.
your physical body.
So it sort of feels like that. It's like you're moving but you're not, and anyways, there's something in the bed with me. And it was like grabbing at me like frantically, like it wanted to play or something.
I love going in our beds.
Right?
Yeah.
So I look over in like the half, and I'm in between, like whatever the dream and reality
Yeah, in
thing
between.
is. So
There's a lot of territory in there.
Exactly. They're the colonize it.
so I basically look over and I see a little girl in the bed with me, and she's got dark skin and long dark hair, and she's got like a nightgown or something on, and it's like she wanted to play, like she wanted a friend, and I was in bed and she just was like, wake up, like hang out with me.
Hey, you're like, no, I'm trying to sleep. I have things
Yeah.
to do in the morning. Why don't you go get ready, and then we'll play in the morning. Help
Yeah.
you with the shoot.
Well, I'm not really great when you wake me up, so
No, she's not. She's already
in the
good.
halfway dream state,
Did you beat this dream girl's ass?
it felt like I got up and I was standing over the bed, and I see the little girl on her knees, like in the bed, looking at me, and I just say, leave me alone, like let me go to sleep, let me go. And she puts her hands up like this at me,
Like pick me
like
up.
pick me up, and her hands are like really like they're deformed.
Decayed. Deformed?
They're like deformed or like
All right.
or
She's got lobster claws.
injured or something. Something's up with their hands.
All right.
And then that's when I actually shoot up and I'm like really awake. And then I was like, that's weird.
And you
And then-
didn't see her after you woke up.
And then.
Well, okay,
The
so
voice.
then after that,
No, remember the voice?
yeah. So
Yeah,
after
That's a
that,
terrible TV show.
Sorry, I'm excited.
I can tell. I kind of just like chalked that up to being a weird dream, but it didn't really feel like a dream because it was like
You can
in
remember
my real,
vividly.
But right when you woke
and it
up.
was in like my real environment.
But
you
forget
know?
about what happened right when you woke up.
So after I woke up, I stayed up for a minute and was like, okay, weird, but then I went back to sleep eventually, and then I go into like an actual dream. And it's this weird dream where I'm in this like big, I have these dreams a lot where I'm like lost in a house of some kind or lost in some kind of a structure.
Who doesn't?
And I have this dream that I'm in some kind of a nice house in Colorado. I know it's in Colorado.
That's a good state to be
Better than
in.
Culver City.
Yeah. It's in,
By a long shot.
so at the end of the dream, I'm in this room with my best friend. We were best friends from like kindergarten to when I was like a senior in high school. And there's this lamp on a table, and it's flickering like crazy. And the cord that's plugged into the wall is going nuts, like it's gonna catch on fire. So I go to grab the cord, pull it out of the wall, and I look over, and my friend is sitting on the table opposite, and she's got the other side of the cord in her hand, and she's just watching me. And I look at her and I say, don't pull that cord, because when I pull the cord out of the wall socket in the
You're
dream,
going to wake up.
well, when I pulled the cord out of the wall socket in the dream, it was like red hot, like a branding iron, and it was doing this like crazy, like a snake, like a pissed snake. And I just say, don't pull the cord because it's gonna burn me. And she just like looks at me straight dead on and just smiles and just goes, like grabs it, pulls it, and I can feel like this singe on my hand, like this crazy painful burn.
Ouch.
Okay.
And I look at her and I
I think
say,
they did that to cows.
yeah, I know what a cow feels like now.
They feel delicious. They
So-
feel supple.
I look at her and I was just like, that was a really terrible thing to do. That was really cruel. Why did you do that? And she looks at me like really blankly. And this is right when I'm starting to wake up.
I'm already getting goosebumps because I feel like I know who this is going to end up being.
As I'm waking up,
Marilyn Henner.
she's saying to me, maybe you should, in her voice, and then in a man's voice, as I'm awake, kill yourself. Like, I hear it.
They want
So,
her to hang out
like,
there.
I'm transitioning between like the dream and waking up, and her voice turns into this man's voice that I hear in both the dream and as I wake up. So that creeped me out a lot.
You just pissed somebody off and they were trying to get to you in other realms.
Well, here's the thing,
fuck
is
that.
like, after that little girl experience, because this was all the same night. Yeah, and I'm actually dead now.
Well, that's why you're here.
We're having this shared experience right now. She seems almost real.
Yeah.
So,
Live ghost here right now, tonight.
what
Edinburgh.
If she
actually,
was alive, she'd punch me.
Ow.
She's real.
I heard
Just
the
getting
bone
answered.
crunch on that one.
Ha ha! Go ahead.
um,
What were you saying?
so after the little girl experience and hearing that creepy man tell me to kill myself,
How rude.
this sounds a little crazy, but I sat up and I'm awake at this point. I'm super, like, I'm up.
And she found
And
Scientology.
I yelled at it. I was just like, I'm never going to do that. I've never wanted to do that less in my life, actually. Stop fucking trying. And it responded. It said, are you so sure about that? And then I was like, that's it, I'm done.
But we still work in the building.
But you still work there, right?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
This was about a year ago.
That was a little less than that. It was probably about like, it was in fall, right?
Well, maybe they fucked
October.
off by now then.
Well,
Oh, no,
it's
we
like,
still good. But they're a little bit more docile now. Well, as long as the vibe's okay in the
Yeah.
building.
If
Like-
exorcism doesn't work, you know, gasoline matches typically do the trick.
I'll tell you about like an exorcism I did once. Another time. It's a long story. I don't have any short stories.
It might sound too sexy.
Sexy
It was actually really freaky. But I don't know how to do exorcisms. But I was just like chasing after something.
You just gotta wing it sometimes, you know.
The
with
Ouija
job
board.
done.
The Ouija board's a fun way to get some. If you're bored, Ouija board.
Don't
If you're bored,
let
Ouija board.
not knowing how to do something stop you from doing something.
Exactly. Just get a smudge of white sage and just chase after that motherfucker. And then if you can't get it, just move out.
At least you had the Ouija board. The only thing I've performed exorcisms or exercises of exorcism is we had to use kerplunk and chase the the spirit ended up losing his marbles completely.
Trouble.
Hey,
If it
life.
could be
Trouble for your
answered in
exorcism.
numbers, or like, yeah, Parcheesi Luler.
guess
We should
so.
do an episode where we do
Do it like a seance. Yeah, let's do it.
Actually, our company's called Seance Studios.
Yeah,
There's a good ring to it.
because of the
Yeah.
ghosts.
I've heard of seance before in 8 million other forms though.
Right, I know.
I thought I would
Floating
show you.
tables. Hey, let's go on a ghost hunting trip sometime.
I'm down. I have to come check it out sometime.
Do you
We'll
have
do
a
a
car?
special. I do have.
Do you have a car?
It's
Your
the same
birthday's
same
on
car that was
4/4. You
stolen.
should come to 414 on 4/4.
No, we should. I should take him to Ventura.
Maybe before.
I'm gonna take you to Ventura. Ventura, the whole town of Ventura is actually haunted.
I used
It's
to
all built on graves.
The whole town?
Yes, I used to live up there. I can see if you're on a great ghost tour.
Castle Cat episode of Ghost Hunting coming to your
That's a
eyeballs
challenge.
soon. Yes. If
Ventura
you're a
Ghost.
ghost and you're an asshole, we're coming for you. We're going to come provoke you until you try to possess us, you
We're
motherfucker.
bringing white sage. It's going to be as annoying to you as anise is to me. So don't wear licorice around me, and I won't wear. No, I'm going to bring some sage.
Some sages. I don't do the whole cross thing because you were raised Catholic, so we'll use David stars. But within the David star, we'll put even more sage.
Oh
and
yeah, I did grow
so
up.
it's good.
You grew up with David.
No, I wish. Probably would be a lot less fucked up.
Yeah, no, probably have a big old dong. But those Jews got big
It sounds
penises.
like one hell of an altar you guys are about to build.
Well, you know, it's an all encompassing. It's an all-purpose people's altar.
Wait, we're building an altar?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's be like.
Such a crown of sweet sad I want to. Oh no, blow me out, I don't know what. I'm so sad I want to. That's it and watch as tears go by. Oh no, blow me out, I don't know what. I'm so sad I want to. Since I love you almost as much as you want me. And though these words are true, I grew my love by leaving you. I had a dream you were alive and everything was going fine, and we were walking through the woods and the leaves into the night. All at once I start to cry, remembering your suicide. That was 6 years ago. Today the world revolves with turn of love. Blow me out, I don't know why. I'm so sad I want to. No, there's nothing left to try. Nothing left to get me. I had a dream that I was late and you were waiting at the gate. Then you started to complain. I turned and walked away. Then it all came rushing back. It stopped me speaking in my tracks. There's one life chance I fall quickly. I woke up reaching out for one. Alone and you weren't answering your phone, and so you walked up to your house. Other people live there now. I asked them where you could be found, but they ignored me 'cause I drowned, and now I'm stuck to feel the same. But it didn't feel the same.